Few names in history evoke such a chilling blend of fascination and revulsion as Countess Elizabeth Bathory. Known as the Blood Countess, her story has transcended time, becoming a dark legend that continues to captivate and horrify. Born into Hungarian nobility in 1560, she lived a life steeped in privilege and power. Her family was one of the most influential in Central Europe, providing her with an education and opportunities that were rare for women of her time. Yet her name resonates not with tales of courtly grace, but with whispers of unspeakable cruelty. The corridors of her castle are said to have echoed with the screams of her victims, young women lured by promises of work or education. Bathory stands accused of torturing and murdering hundreds of young women, her legend forever intertwined with the gruesome image of her bathing in their blood. This macabre ritual was believed to preserve her youth and beauty, a testament to her vanity and sadism. Was she a monster, a bloodthirsty sadist who preyed on the innocent? The villagers spoke of her with fear and hatred, their anger culminating in her arrest and trial. Or was she, as some historians argue, the victim of a conspiracy, her story twisted and exaggerated by her enemies? Political rivals and envious peers may have fabricated or embellished the tales of her atrocities to bring about her downfall. The truth, like the woman herself, remains shrouded in the mists of time. The lack of concrete evidence and the passage of centuries have only added layers of mystery to her story. This essay delves into the life and legend of Elizabeth Bathory, seeking to unravel the threads of fact from the tapestry of fiction that has come to define her. Through historical documents, eyewitness accounts, and modern interpretations, we aim to shed light on the enigmatic figure of the Blood Countess, exploring whether she was a true villain or a maligned noblewoman caught in the web of history's intrigue. Elizabeth Bathory was born into the highest echelon of Hungarian society. Her family, the Bathorys, were one of the most powerful and influential families in the region, boasting a lineage that included kings and princes. Her childhood was one of immense wealth and privilege, spent in sprawling castles and opulent estates. From a young age, Elizabeth was exposed to the intricacies of courtly life. She received an education befitting her status, learning multiple languages, philosophy, and the arts. However, alongside these refinements, she also witnessed the brutal realities of power in a time when violence was commonplace and life held little value, especially for those outside the nobility. These early experiences, coupled with her family's history of mental instability, would profoundly shape the woman she would become. As Elizabeth matured into adulthood, whispers of her disturbing proclivities began to circulate. It was rumored that beneath her aristocratic facade lurked a heart of chilling darkness. Servants disappeared from her estates, their fates unknown. Peasants passing by her castle spoke of blood-curdling screams echoing through the night. The accusations against Elizabeth centered around the systematic torture and murder of young women, many of them peasant girls lured to her castles under the pretense of work. These accusations painted a horrifying picture of sadistic pleasure taken in inflicting pain. The alleged methods of torture were as varied as they were gruesome, including beatings, burnings, mutilations, and even biting the flesh of her victims. The most enduring and disturbing element of Elizabeth Bathory's legend is the claim that she bathed in the blood of her victims, believing it held the key to eternal youth and beauty. This macabre practice, if true, paints a chilling picture of a woman driven to extreme lengths by her obsession with vanity and power. This gruesome detail, while not explicitly mentioned in the initial accusations, quickly took hold in the public imagination, cementing her image as the Blood Countess. The idea of a noblewoman engaging in such horrific acts was both shocking and fascinating, capturing the attention of storytellers and historians alike. The origins of the blood-bathing legend are unclear. Some suggest it was a tale spun by her political enemies, eager to see her downfall. Others believe it was a sensationalized account that grew over time, fed by the whispers and rumors that surrounded her trial and imprisonment. Some historians believe it was a fabrication spread by her enemies to further tarnish her name. In the politically charged atmosphere of the time, such a scandalous story would have been a powerful weapon against her. Others speculate it arose from a misinterpretation of her bathing rituals, perhaps involving the use of red wine or other substances easily mistaken for blood. Bathing in wine was not uncommon among the nobility, who believed it had health benefits and could enhance their appearance. Regardless of its veracity, the image of Elizabeth Bathory, pale and ageless, immersed in the blood of her victims, has become inextricably linked to her legacy. This haunting image has inspired countless books, films and legends, ensuring her place in the annals of history's most infamous figures. Her story serves as a grim reminder of the dark side of human nature and the lengths to which some will go in their quest for power and immortality. In 1610, after years of rumors and accusations, Elizabeth Bathory's reign of terror came to an end. Her cousin, György III, acting on behalf of the Hungarian king, arrived at her castle in Countess with a contingent of soldiers. There they claimed to have discovered a scene of unimaginable horror, dead and dying girls, some bearing fresh wounds, others locked away in dungeons. While Elizabeth herself was never formally tried, several of her servants and accomplices were arrested and put on trial. The testimonies given during these trials, while likely coerced and unreliable, painted a damning picture of Elizabeth as the mastermind behind the atrocities. She was ultimately found guilty in absentia and sentenced to life imprisonment within the confines of her own castle. The passage of centuries has done little to diminish the mystery surrounding Elizabeth Bathory, a figure shrouded in both historical intrigue and dark legend. While the legend of the Blood Countess persists, the true extent of her crimes remains a subject of intense debate among historians. The stories of her bathing in the blood of virgins to retain her youth have captivated imaginations for generations, but how much of it is true? Some argue that the accusations against her were grossly exaggerated, fueled by a potent mix of envy, political machinations, and the misogynistic tendencies of the time. They believe that her wealth and influence made her a target for those who sought to bring her down. They point to the lack of concrete evidence and the highly questionable nature of the testimonies given against her. Many of these testimonies were extracted under duress or torture, casting further doubt on their reliability. These historians suggest that Elizabeth, a powerful woman in a patriarchal society, may have been the target of a conspiracy designed to strip her of her power and possessions. Her vast estates and significant political influence posed a threat to many, making her an easy scapegoat. Others maintain that while the blood-bathing stories are likely apocryphal, the sheer volume of accusations, coupled with the discovery of bodies at her castle, suggest a deeply disturbed individual who committed acts of unspeakable cruelty. They argue that the evidence, though circumstantial, paints a picture of a woman who may have been far more sinister than her defenders claim. The truth, as is often the case with historical figures of such infamy, likely lies somewhere in between. Elizabeth Bathory's story continues to be a fascinating blend of fact and fiction, a testament to the enduring power of legend and the complexities of human nature.